In the name of God the Almighty, peace to you. Today I will speak about the aging of humanity as species and how I believe we have already entered the years of our Alzheimer. Uh, so we are losing uh, our knowledge, we are losing our ability to differentiate things, remember things, and uh, how this is unfolding worldwide right now. First of all, we have to go back to the date the human species started with our first ancestor. At that time, according to what we have as records, the age of one human being could have reached 1,000 years of the years we are counting now. So 1,000 years up, we have went down to until today we are living at best some 100 years old. So from 1,000 to 100, so we are living now the tenth of what our first ancestors lived. So why is this happening? As I said at the beginning, the it's for me the human species is like uh, we have to look at it just as one individual who have been given life in a perfect situation, a perfect body, and however it was uh, not proportional with the knowledge and the wisdom our first ancestor had. So they had the perfect body, but they didn't have enough intelligence and enough experience. They started to learn things, and as time passed by, the amount or the age of a human being has been reduced gradually from 1000 to 900 to some 700, 500, and so forth, until we have reached the situation we are living now with 100-year-old at best. And it reminds me too much of how uh, a baby, I mean the baby organs, if he's fit and healthy, they are in perfect condition. Yes, they grow, uh, he grows fast physically until he reach the 18 or 19 years old. However, his knowledge, his experience is so limited, and he start questioning things and learning things as his life proceeds. So uh, at one point, at 40-year-old, according to many experts and scientists like Carl Jung, for example, before 40 years old, we have been doing all the research. We start living when we reach the 40 years old barrier. So after 40 years old, we are maturing enough. We start, having the meaning of life, having the purpose, knowing the purpose of our existence, and all these things. So wisdom start from the age 40, and so between 40-year-old, let us say, until up till 70 years old, every person live the most mature years of his life. And then after 70, things start to disintegrate physically and even mentally to many people. So that's what we are living now as a human species globally. I mean, we reached our peak of knowledge and experience and maturity after the World War II. Then, unfortunately, we didn't use our experiences wisely, and that's why we have entered literally since the year 2000, the years of our Alzheimer. We are losing our knowledge. We are losing our wisdom. We are going nuts. We as species, as we can see, we are, thinking on how to abuse each other more, on how to enslave each other more. After we reached conclusions after World War II that we have to act responsibly with what we have of knowledge regarding making weapons or waging wars or whatever. And that's why the Cold Years, or the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States, lasted nearly three or 4 decades without really any direct fight between the two powers. And then, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, uh, the United States had failed big deal in leading the world, and wisely, and that's why, since 2011 up till now, we have entered really the years of Alzheimer, the years when we started really losing our knowledge, our wisdom, and we have given all our efforts scientifically to how to control each other, how to manipulate each other, and that's why all this technology flood happened regarding communication and regarding social media and all these things, while we could have put more efforts and more money into something far more important. And that's why, I mean, because these things like gadgets and the electronic gadgets and the mobile phones and all these things have been cutting completely the human feelings, cutting completely the human direct communication, natural communication between people and other even uh, beings around us, and it's also made life, which has been already easy in the 20th century, it became more and more greedy, more and more lazy. Big corporation stealing and all the earth resources in order to feed all these lazy people who want easy food, easy work, easy everything, easy money. And that's why you know I know areas in this world that the, maybe 80% of its youth has been uh, you know um, employed as spies or intelligence services or something like that, because, as I said, everybody want easy money. They don't give a damn about values, morals, or whatever. They want the easy money. So they don't want anything to do with agriculture, anything to do with architecture, anything to do with any real knowledge, any work or any job that is really constructive for the common good. So we are reducing all our civilization into some kind of a box, which everybody is inside it is controlled, fully controlled. There is no more privacy. There is nothing other than spying on each other, other than stealing the information from each other. For example, big corporations trying to steal the secrets from one another, and it's all like, we have been in a big place of knowledge, and we started reducing it until it became a very small cage, and everybody is caged in and plugged in, and nobody has control over whatever, as long as he uses this money, as long as he's working for this system. And so it's all now coming to an era of ignorance, an era of slavery, literal slavery, and so we are really we cannot compare. There's no way to compare the scientists we have today with most of them giving us theories behind from behind desks, and most of their theories, they are not applicable in nature, and we cannot compare them to the era of the first half of the 20th century, for example, 100 years ago, when we had people like Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and the aftermath of, the era of Newton and Faraday and all these people. So we are now, after we reach the peak of maturity after the World War II, and supposedly we should have learned how to control our urge for greed, for power. We went on for a weapons race, and we went on to go to space, spending trillions of dollars on programs that up till now, what they gave us is only, as I said, putting us more and more in boxes with satellite and communication, bringing people, forcing them into entering a box they can't escape from. Everybody is controlled, everybody is spied on, everybody, there is no really fucking privacy for any person. And it's not the privacy that's important, it's important that uh, the free thinkers have been fought in every way and every sort and any shape. And what's proving more and more that we are even the freedom of speech and the freedom of word and the duty of information, like journalists, for example, the people, the journalists who are investigators in fields and they go risk their lives, they have been the targets worldwide in almost every country. In the last couple of years, we see a surge in numbers of assassination of free journalists. And the truth uh, is, mean, the people in power trying to hide it from the population. And now even those maybe less than 1% of population who are trying to wake people up, they are faced with people who are not believing anything anymore. And it's a mixture and it's a chaos. And as I said, it's a total dementia case. uh, it's it's anyway, it will end. It will end like anyone who age and get Alzheimer and then die. We are going to a dead end, I think, very soon. I don't think the vast majority of world population will survive the third decade of the 21st century, and at best, maybe the last man standing will be around 2033, not anymore after that. And because everything, all the signs around us point towards that, because as I said, there is no wisdom in any government worldwide, there is no real knowledge in the scientific community, and it's all focused on how to make money, on how to engage to power or to an agenda, political agenda or social agenda or ideological agenda. We are in big chaos, and the truth is revealing itself, while many people are completely either dead, literal dead, or asleep. And I don't think we will be able to reverse the problem of the climate change. It will get worse by the minute. And after 1 year of the COVID pandemic, I haven't seen any real will of change. The people, all what they focus on is money. All what they focus on is the economy. They want to keep going as they have been before. So no lessons learned. We are going from a weak dementia case to a more severe one, and many people are really in total darkness. And They are not, even if you go and open their eyes to the light, they don't want to open them. They don't want to see the light. They shut them completely straightforward. So we are living the era of ignorance that started. We are going to return like babies. We no longer have wisdom. We know we don't even remember our experiences to learn from them, and we have been lying all along to ourselves. For example, the right, what they call the right wing people, they are going back to the roots of fascism and racism and all these things. While on the other hand, the left side people are trying still to I don't know who they are trying to cheat, because they are dividing people more and more with labelism, throwing labels at anything they meet. They give labels to gay people. They give label to asexual people, to bisexual people, to black people, to brown people, to white people, to yellow people, to pink people. Anything they could throw label in, they throw label in, and they claim, and they build organization saying that we are defending this, we are defending that, while in reality they are establishing more and more division into the fabric of the human society. So both sides are completely false, completely wrong, and their ideologies and their way of behavior and their way or in their agendas, if you like. Even if I don't believe there's any one of them knows what the third of three is, they all throw themselves into the open in order to get their 15 minutes of shame. I call that, because 15, they call it 15 minutes of fame, I call it shame. So it's we are living, as I said, in an era that uh, any idiot can go jump on a screen, and they will be given on an open air to speak. And even many of them are sitting in very powerful positions because they are all puppets. They all do what they are told to do, and it's a corrupt world from A to Z. And it's funny. And this morning, before I started this video, I was watching Sky News, and uh, they were talking about a new conference that's coming after a year or so about climate change, and that the Chinese are promising to cut their gas emissions and all the things by 2060. Yeah, we will see each other in 2060. There is no point, there is no one will pass 2033. I'm sure about that. We will see. It's very close. I'm not giving a date that's far. Uh, do you want? I may not be here. Maybe after 1 second after I close this video, I may remain alive up to 2033. God knows. But what I am saying is, I'm realistic, and I have been following the world affairs day by day since I started working as a journalist back in 2006. So 14 years of following every possible information in every field worldwide. And I can tell you, there are plenty of blah blah blah, plenty of talking people, plenty of conferences, but there's no deeds. And there are plenty of scientific claims that are just mere guessing. The knowledge is being reduced by the minute, the true knowledge. And because they are cutting the science into pieces, any knowledge into very tiny pieces. Now you go to a university to study, or to an academy, you have dozens and hundreds of fields of study. You can't, for example, go study physics, for example, in general, and you have to just specify in this and that. And they want to, as I said, try to control as much as possible, and that's why they don't like to have any free thinker, any real savant, any like the people who were before some 300 or 400 years ago. So after we reach the maturity, the human species, now we are losing everything we had, and that's what I call the Alzheimer years. It's just we are dying now slowly. So I'm uh, almost sure that the coming decade is our last. We will see. Stay tuned. Bye for now.